What is good, TPA podcast? It's your boy Big Holla. We are back, and I got a special guest. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What up, everybody? It's Nyra Millie. Chilling with Holla at Crazy, y'all. He got me on here finally.
Yeah. So How did you end up going by Nyra Millie?
Long story. Okay, so when I was in high school, my real name is Ryan.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, I was in this group and we used to just sit and freestyle.
Yeah.
Just act stupid during lunch. So we ended up naming ourselves Diamond Cuts. We all had our nicknames. One of the guys that was on the basketball team, he actually made it up. So he was like, I'm going to rearrange your letters in your name and it'd be Nyra. And I was like,
that's crazy.
Nyra. That's what I said. I was like, that's cool. Like, that's something that I really want my nickname to be. And then after that, everybody just, Nyra.
When did you add the Millie to it?
That's another story. See, okay, as an artist, sometimes you just get carried away with yourself, if you know what I mean. So I ended up making an alias because I felt like Nyra was really somebody that was a part of me, if that made any sense. Just because I was younger, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like that was me. So I was like, I need something else. And not only that, Nyra is a baseball association. If you
really,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
It is. So like, if you go on the internet and type in Nyra, baseball shit come up. that's why I put Nyra Millie, and I kind of linked it together because the Camille Banks was kind of too long, but I thought that was gonna stick, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, but it didn't feel right, like you know what I'm saying, like it didn't feel like Nyra, so I was like, just go back to Nyra, you know what I'm saying, just pop shit like.
So as a female rapper, right, how do you feel like it was harder for people to respect you like rapping more than a dude may have, or do you think like you got extra props being a girl?
I think as a woman, as a female, you get extra props, definitely, especially if you can rap, if you can, you know what I'm saying, put the bars together and bring it, like you get way more props because it is a male dominated industry, you know what I'm saying? So most males, they already know what to do, they know how to move, they know what to talk about to get people drawn in, and it's just different when a woman does it, when a female does it, it's just different. Like it just brings a different type of energy, and it's not even for me it is a little bit more feminine when I rap. I'm not really a hardcore rapper, but it's a lot of women out there who rap hard, you know what I'm saying, like how rap is supposed to be, like real street bitches, excuse my language, you know what I'm saying, like that's what they born and bred to do, to rap. That's what they grew up doing. So I think it's more respectful. Like I get more respect from being a woman, which might sound crazy, but that's how it feels.
I feel like a lot of dudes think that, right? And it's crazy that you said that because most people be like, no, it's super hard, you know what I'm saying?
It's not. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people say it's hard, but I could put out a freestyle video and really, like that'll probably get more views than maybe like a selfie video that I take. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to be.
Yeah. So what caused you to start rapping? Like what inspired you to start?
I would say rapping it for me is more so of a hobby.
You have a very media trained voice. It's
media
crazy.
Trained? Yeah. I've been media. What it was, I was in modeling school when I was 5, and my mom, she just ended up putting me in a whole bunch of like media training schools. So I'm trained for it. I just never wanted to be in the limelight like that. Like this is, I don't know.
What, as a rapper?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
That's crazy.
But I'm really, at heart, I'm really a writer, like a poet. You know what I'm saying? Like I have like a lot of feelings. I'm emotional, so I'll put that in a rap. Like, you know, put something soft and try to make it hard and put it in the rap that way. But it's more of a hobby. Like I got my studio equipment set up at home. When I'm bored, I just get on there.
So what is your goal with it? Or what is your goal in life if it's not to be a rapper? Be a writer?
I want to dabble in everything. Like I want to make so much money. I could direct, I could produce, I could engineer, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying all of these things just to see where I exactly fit. Music, I feel like I'm gonna always come back to because it is my first love. And it's a way that I really connect with myself. So I think music is something that I'm always gonna do. But I'm branching off into other stuff. Like I want an accessory store.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on doing that I used to do lip fillers. I used to do laser lipo, stuff like that. Yeah. So I've tried stuff. I used to do hair, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I like making money, I think, just more so than anything. So I feel like once I crack the code, because it's a way you can make money off the internet from music. Sure. So I feel like once I crack the code with that, that's when my music will become more consistent, if that makes sense. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even mind being a writer for a big artist. Like, I don't know, I'm just open to, I don't know, back then I wasn't really open to being a writer for other people. Yeah. But it's like now I am, because I realized that it's bigger. Like, the artist is just really the face of it. They're just the smallest part of it. Yeah. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, that is true. A lot of people don't know that. Like, once somebody gets signed to like a label, the label, once they find that one person to pop, they're just going to filter all their hits through that person. I think a lot of people come into music for the art, right? Right. But they don't understand, like, this is business. This is the so industry.
Much behind it. Oh my gosh. Like, I remember, because I probably got serious, like, you know, when you put out a song, you got to give the producer the credits. You got to give the engineer the credits. You have to give the whoever you're distributing your music through, you have to give them credit. So it's like, it's a lot of steps that I didn't realize when I first started in high school. And then when I got out of high school, I was still just popping off, making music, not really knowing, you know, getting beats off SoundClick, not really knowing what I needed to do. So I think all of that came after really doing research about it and really figuring out, like, what is the position of an artist. Like, I'm not trying to down talk mainstream artists, because I know it takes a lot of work to get there. Like, I don't care if you're independent. I don't care if you're just starting out. I don't care if you've been in it for a long time. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of money. So with that, I don't know. I would rather more so dive into it and be about the business part of it, so you can make money from it, because that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people rap because that is entertainment is a lot of money. You know what I mean? Especially for us, because that's what people want to see. So I don't know, it's a lot behind it.
So being in modeling school at 5 years old, how was that?
It was fun. Like, you don't really think at 5, you just, oh, they have clothes for me. There's all these different kids that I get to model with. And it's just fun. Like, I model with JCPenney, so it was a lot of people that I model with. I wasn't just by myself, you know what I mean? So it was fun.
Did y'all do like runway stuff too?
I have before. The only thing about me and runway, I get nervous. So I can walk. You know what I mean? Like, if it was a situation where you wanted to see me walk, I would walk for you, you know, in heels. But it's just like runway, it takes a lot of concentration, and I don't think I can be that concentrated for that long and not fall. You know what I'm saying? I'm clumsy.
What was your biggest like mishap like while you were modeling? Like maybe a time like you did fall or like something else happened. What was like your biggest mishap that you can remember?
I would say like my hair sweating out like on the runway, like right before getting. Yes.
How old were you when that happened?
I was. I have pictures of it. It's so embarrassing, but I had to be like 21, 22. It was horrible.
So what made you, do you still model?
Not really. I want to get back into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of ideas in my mind as far as like photo shoots and stuff like that, because I want to get back into it. That's really something that I enjoy doing as well. Like, alongside music, I do like to model. So I don't know, I see myself getting back into it. I kind of had to put a hold on a lot of stuff, just referring to me, just to help out my mom and my brother and stuff like that. But I'm getting back into me, so I think modeling is going to be on the list.
So how did like COVID affect like everything that you had going on with modeling or music or anything else? Because like a lot of people, they were at home forced to like take in content. Right. Other people, you know, that's where a lot of people found their eyeballs, was during that time. So how did that go?
For me, I would say COVID really opened my eyes to not just social media, but to me and what am I using my social media for. So I ended up kind of backing off of it. Not really completely, you know, I still go on show love, but I kind of backed off of it, putting my content out because I want to put out quality content. You know what I'm saying? I want to put out things that, like, when y'all look at it, y'all gonna get chills because y'all know who I am type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I don't want to put out a whole bunch of content to where nobody wants to pay attention anymore, or I'm watering myself down. You know what I mean? Music wise, well, okay, career wise, because I have a 9 to 5, so career wise, it didn't really stop anything. I still have my job, which is a blessing, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people didn't, but I still have my job, you know what I'm saying. I think the only thing that affected it was just me putting a hold, like, on myself.
Okay.
But it wasn't something that I regret, because I did help out my family in the process. So, you know what I'm saying? It's give or take with this life.
What is your job, if I may ask?
I am in the executive assistant. So I'm like the assistant to the CEO of a roadside company. Okay. And I just, like, you know, really whatever they need, I'm there.
So with, like, everybody, like, flooding to Atlanta during COVID, did y'all have, like, a abnormal amount of, like, calls from what you were used to?
Yes. And not only that, you know, a lot of people were getting unemployment. A lot of people were getting stimulus checks. So a lot of people quit. So it was kind of hard at the time. You know what I'm saying? We had to figure it out, really, because a lot of people did quit on us. But, you know, you just get over stuff like that.
Gotta keep pushing through it.
You can't worry about the people that leave. Like my mom, she loves to say, like, the trash, let the trash take out itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of my big things. Like, if somebody don't want to be there, whether it's your job, relationship, then hey, you gotta let them go. Like,
how is being like a model? Because I know there's a lot of guys, right? Okay, let me not jump that far. All right.
Oh, you can jump that far because they jump.
No. We're gonna get there.
Right.
But I just want. Okay, so how was it being in relationships, being somebody who did something that you were looked at as, like, the star in how can
the star in the relationship?
Yeah, kind of like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of, like, I can be, when I'm in relationships, I can be the background, but I just naturally have, like, a leadership. I don't know what it is about me. Like, I'm just, like, people are drawn to me. So it's not like I'm really the star of it. I've had relationships where I've been a star of it and it didn't really work out, you know. Is women get jealous, men get jealous, and a lot of men are not able to handle that of a woman, you know what I'm saying, especially in that lifestyle. And it was a lot of the times, you know what I'm saying, I'm wearing crop tops, I'm wearing clothes that show my boobs, you know what I'm saying, I might wear something with my butt out, and it's not really, I can imagine, for a man, a comfortable feeling. So I try to like, I don't know if you watch my videos or, like, you see how I dress, I try to dress, like, almost, like, not so naked in my videos. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just so somebody won't get so irritated, like, let me just change it because she naked. Like,
who would do that though?
Times, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times people will do that because it's so common. Not taking anything away from women who are doing that, because, you know, by all means, like, show off what you got because it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Women are beautiful, but at the same time, it's like, I kind of wanted to bring in something different. May not be that different, but I want to at least put that implication that I am different, like, that I'm, you know, Nyra's not Megan Thee Stallion. I get compared to her a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we favor, you know, I love Megan Thee Stallion, but I'm not Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't necessarily have to strip or anything. Like, I didn't have to get out in the streets. I was, just because of who my family was and who I grew up to be, but that wasn't something that I had to do. So I've always used it like a secret weapon. Like, I can do the normal stuff, but this is where my heart is, and this is really who I am. Like,
You're
I
talking
don't
about
care.
the way you dress, like, you
Yeah,
don't really, okay.
yeah. This is who I am. I don't really like. I'll throw in a crop top, but I'm not about to sit with my titties like.
Yeah.
I can't. Like that's not.
I think what a lot of people run into, because I've been doing content for a little bit. I think a lot of people, they just try to like mimic things that they think are successful. I think what people just have to do is just be yourself. And the internet, the difference between the industry and the internet is the industry is going to push certain things, right?
They have to.
Yeah, because this is what works. So we're going to drain what works till we find something else that works, then we're going to drain that. Right? The internet gives people the opportunity to be themselves and just garner the crowd that they want. So like, as long as you be yourself, if you're going into your content being yourself, I don't think you'll eventually, the people who want to watch you, they'll eventually watch you. Then once you have the eyeballs, that's when the companies will look and say, all right, let's just pump up what she got.
I think that the internet is probably one of the best things. Okay, arguably maybe the best and the worst things that happen to music. You know what I'm saying? I say best because it really does. It gives like stuff that we like, I guess stuff that the paparazzi wouldn't get, or that your director wouldn't get, or if you're not shooting a vlog wouldn't get. We get that. Yeah. So it's like seeing people who we really look up to, people who we idolize being regular. And then it's like you look at them like, hi, they just like me. Wow. Yeah. Like these regular, not saying that they're regular because they are amazing people, but we all live this life. Like, it's the same life. Some people have more money. Some people reach their goals. Some people have less money and don't reach their goals. You know what I'm saying? It's all about you and your life and what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah. So what were like some of the arguments that may have happened? Because I know dudes who are like, they don't want their girlfriend to be nothing. Like,
I was in one relationship. This is probably like my longest relationship. It was like my first relationship. And it was crazy because he was a producer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
So we fresh out of high school, you know, so we don't really know everything. We don't really know nothing about nothing, really. I'm not going to say everything. I'm going to say we don't know nothing because we just out here, you know what I'm saying? When we first got together, I didn't tell him I rapped because it was something that I kind of wanted to keep under wraps because it's not really something that you want your girlfriend doing. Like,
why?
I don't know. And him being a producer, I don't know. I just, when I see people, I just don't tell them I rap. I just don't automatically tell them I rap. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing where I feel like they're gonna tell me to freestyle or something.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that's what it is. So I just don't tell him. But I didn't tell him, but I knew he produced. So I remember he ended up finding out that I rapped, and he was like, wow, like, you're really good, da 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 da. So like, we would sit, you know, he would make beats and I would try to get him to make a beat for me, and he would tell me like, oh, I don't make beats for women, or I don't make beats for females. So I'd be like, okay, you know what I'm saying, that's cool, let me just go continue on SoundClick, da 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 da. So it got to a point where he ended up, it took a couple years, but he actually ended up, you know, making me beats and stuff like that. But, you know, it came with a price. You know, anytime we argued, he would say something about it or delete my music or flag it, just all type of stuff. And he actually ended up making me a whole album. I'm not even gonna say a whole, he made me 2 albums of beats that I actually used, and really they got taken down because of that. My YouTube videos and everything, they're back up now, which fucks my whole music timeline up. But it is what it is. I feel like everything happens for a reason. Not only that, I feel like it was times where I wanted to perform and I'll put on makeup and I'll put on lashes and I'll put on a wig and he'll just talk shit. That's why I grew out the wigs, because it was so many times where I put on a wig and he'll just be like, you look like a fucking clown. Like, what are you doing? Why? You don't need all that. And I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the principle. Like, we have to almost, as women, we have to almost sell a fantasy in this life. So it was a disaster. I'm glad I'm not in it. Best of luck to him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when he watches this interview, he's going to know exactly who he is, maybe along with a lot of other people who know me. But
that is crazy.
It was crazy going through it.
And it's so weird. Like, I thought I knew the world, right? I went out. I talked to I had a lot of friends in school, but you know, like when you get in relationships, you like kind of like lose like your girl friendships. So I didn't hear the stories. So like there was from 12th grade to like last year, I didn't hear nobody's relationship stories if I didn't see them physically.
Right.
And now like the 18 to 25-ish years and people are telling me like what they, because I always never understood the rhetoric like on the internet, like how do y'all believe this is crazy? Like why do women think that this they wilding, right?
I feel like you don't really know, like as a woman we are deemed more emotional, so we don't really like when something first happens we don't really pay too much attention to it, if that makes sense. Like it's almost like blinded, you know what I'm saying? Either blinded or just in denial. Yeah. And most of the time it might be both. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it was a denial thing. Not only that, I was young, so I didn't really like think that life was hard, if that made sense. I didn't think that relationships were hard. I seen a lot of unsuccessful relationships, but I never really thought that it could happen to me, which was naive of me to think. But I know a lot of women think that. I already know just by how we act and how we move. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like I feel like in the back of your head when it's going on, you know. Like this nigga not worth shit. Like he don't fuck with me, all type of stuff. But so it's like as a woman, you kind of want to almost, I don't know if it's proving yourself wrong or if it's proving the other women that he has been with wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Not a competition thing. Like, I'm going to tell you because I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, I might not even feel like this or might have not even felt like this because I know I had my reasons for me staying. You know what I'm saying? In my relationships. And a lot of the times for me, it will be because I don't really, like, I would rather put up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a person that deals with change very well, especially in relationships. Like, I'm so horrible with that. So I would rather stay, work it out. Like, like that's me. And I feel like that's a lot of women. That, though. But when it gets to a point where, okay, because everybody gets fed up, men, women, all that. So when it gets to the point of being fed up, it's almost like everything crashes because you were starting to feel that way a long time ago. But us as women, we try so hard to hold on. We don't even know what we're holding on to. And we'll hold on. But
I think that's a good person trait. I'll say that. I don't think it's necessarily women because
men hold on to.
Yeah.
Men hold on to.
I think so. I think what happens is with dating, good people usually are like flagged down by like the bad people because good people really just be focusing on themselves.
Yeah, they be chilling trying to get to the next level.
Exactly. And then everybody else that, you know what I'm saying, do whatever, don't really care about people in life. They just walk into people's lives willy-nilly, right? And then what happens is like there's a long time where like bad dudes are dating good girls, good dudes are dating bad girls that don't. And I think I don't know. I
don't know either.
Yeah, it's so I don't know why it's like that though. But I feel like good people just let things develop. So that's why I think when people get older and they realize what they're not going to put up with, that's typically when they find like that person because
you realize once you're honest with the other person and you're honest with yourself, then you can bring everything to the table. Like, so what? You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm going to tolerate. Yeah. Even vice versa. It's some things that they might not tolerate from you. And it's like you either you're going to want to change and compromise. Like I think that's the biggest thing in relationships is like compromise. Because you can't want something for yourself one way all the time and not really expect to change some of your habits that you might really be comfortable with to change for the other person. Like, I don't know. They say good people are like the natural healers, so that's why they attract bad people, which I get because I've had a lot of relationships that have I wouldn't say broken me because I'm not really broken.
Yeah.
It's some parts of me that I have lost of myself. It's some things that I'm not the same about, but I don't never consider myself broken from it.
Broken your perspective.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the same
my
way.
Perspective, a lot of times my perspective, 9 times out of 10, my perspective will change after a relationship.
Yeah.
And it depending on the guy is whether it'll change for the better or worse. Cause you know, you have some guys out there that don't really care. You know what I'm saying? They say they'll care about you, but in reality, they really don't care about anything.
Yeah.
So they're trying to care about you, but it's not really working for them. It's going left.
I think a lot of dudes is just perspective. They care about like the perception of them more than anything. I think that's why a lot of times they get around girls and like dog them, because I'm not gonna say naturally, because I don't like when people do that, but I think the typical way society has went, usually, you know what I'm saying, dudes were like the ones leading the charge on a lot of things.
Well, they're supposed to be. I feel like I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like somewhere along the lines we just lost what our life is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not about to preach marriage on nobody. I'm not about to preach relationships on nobody, but I'm not saying you can't do it out here in this world alone, but it helps with 2 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's definitely more helpful with 2 people. Like, being a parent, that's not a 1-person job. It wasn't made for 1 person.
That's why it takes 2 people to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to put effort or it's going to die every time. And it's continuous effort. Like, relationships are a lot of work, and people don't realize how much work they really are. Like, you got to work on yourself most of the time. You got to work on your energy. You got to work on not offending the other person with your energy. You got to work on trying to meet their needs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Chris Rock had a stand up where he said, people say relationships are hard. He said, no, they're not. It's like, if 2 people are working on the relationship, it's not hard. It's really not hard.
It's not.
But like, he made the metaphor to like moving a couch. He was like, yeah, if you have 2 people moving the couch, like, it's not as hard as you think it is when you're the only one moving the couch, right? So I think relationships are very easy. But I think people are scared of who they are, because they try to hide who they are from the person. Because if you find out who I am, you might not like me anymore. You might want to leave, want somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like one of the number one things is people trying to hide themselves. So now when you get in arguments, when people start like peering into like who you really are and saying things that maybe your friends don't notice because they don't spend as much alone time with you, or intimate time with you. Once you start peering into that, then that's when the arguments start. And then the arguments increase when you go out into public and you know she sees who you are, and there's some type of insecurity there that you feel like the person you're in a relationship with will throw your character under the bus. Right. So then you start to down them in public to make
on the internet or whatever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
I feel that. I think that, and I think a lot of the times we lie to ourselves as humans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, just about anything. Like, if you lying to yourself about anything, is you can't really be honest with somebody else in a relationship. It's not gonna work. Like, you got to be 100% honest with yourself, because that's the only way it's gonna work. The only way.
I think I understand why people push like marriage and stuff. I agree with marriage.
I agree with marriage. If you're willing to work it out and be married, be a husband, be a wife. You know, some people might want 2 wives, and some women are okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like as long as you have like your structure of what you want to be, even if you want to be single, you know what I'm saying? You just got to know what you want and know like the other person that's involved in your life, that they want the same thing. Yeah. Because it's not going to work if they don't.
And when you're single, you have to be clear with the people that you deal with. That's what people be, because people, and the one things that I think guys don't understand is most women will be more comfortable around you, or fall in the line is not the term I want to use, but
it might be that.
It's like
fall in the line is not, but it is. But you have to.
When you're honest with them, they respect you way more.
As a woman, because you don't have a choice. If you like a man, because nowadays you got to understand, you guys are getting a lot stronger as men. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are able to tell a woman, like, no, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to play with you. I'm not about to sit and go back and forth with you. Like how back then, you know, it might have been worse. A lot of people were giving into women's games. But nowadays, I feel like you guys are like, nah, we not doing that. So a lot of women don't have a choice but to fall in line. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be with me, if you want me to pay your rent as a man, then this is what this is what it's not even what I have to do. This is what we have to do because I'm leading.
Hold on, what do you mean by that though?
Like, I'm not saying like anything specific. I'm just saying like if I'm in a relationship with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because I am in a relationship. So me like being in a relationship, I don't sit and let him make all the decisions, but we'll talk about everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll tell him exactly how I feel. Sometimes he will be like, you are stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? That don't even make sense. We're not doing that. But him knowing where my mind is coming from, it's easier for him to make certain decisions in the future.
Okay, yeah.
Just knowing where I'm coming from as a woman, where my head is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because men are logical and women are emotional. So
I don't necessarily agree, but
some women are emotional, some men are logical. But I think overall, what makes us I think that's what makes us different, and that's what makes us counterparts.
I don't necessarily
You have
agree.
some women. I do. You have some men that can't control their emotions. You have some women that can't control their emotions.
But see, I don't think the term being emotional means you're not able to control your emotions. I think that's where the conversation has went. But I think men and women are just as equally emotional. But
I don't think so.
You'll be surprised. Look, so I think women have more of a place to express their emotions. So they do. In times where sometimes you might not need to, right?
Do you think we're entitled to like our emotions? You think that's what it is?
No, I just think like society has built a comfortable space for y'all to express your emotions. And the reason guys seem more logical in certain situations is because through society, they're taught to suppress those emotions, right? So once you train your brain to do that, it doesn't mean you don't feel the emotion. You felt the emotion. You just know when it comes to making this decision, like, I can't think about that right now. I have to figure out how to fix it. So
men are better at that though. Women be like, nah, fuck that.
But you know why though?
You know what I'm saying?
When, you know what I'm saying, little Jimmy falls on the ground, everybody like, get up, stop crying. When little Sarah falls on the ground, it's, oh my God, are you okay? And that's where it starts, and it just never stops. So dudes got to kind of like figure their way out through life. It doesn't mean they don't feel the emotion though, because like a lot of them dudes, that would make sense why a lot of dudes do blow up. Like, you know what I'm saying, when they finally get to their fed up point and they just kill everybody. Like, no, I'm tired. Like, y'all done told me I can't deal with it. I don't know how to deal with it. Because a lot of the times I really don't even know how to deal with my emotions. So I know as a man, it'll be like, kind of like, damn. Yeah. Then a lot of girls will be like, I want you to tell me. It's cap. All right. It's a lie. Don't fall for it.
You know what's so crazy? My dude, he does that. He like, you want me to sit and tell you you're beautiful all day, don't you? And I was like, yeah, that'd be nice. But he's not the type of person that'll do that. Like, he doesn't sit and be like, oh, you're beautiful, you look good today. He's definitely not like that. I know he thinks so. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because I think so. Like, I can sit in the mirror all day and it irritates him. Yeah, it irritates him. So I think that's kind of why, because he already think that I'm like you conceited. In the mirror all day. Yeah, you in the mirror all day. What you and you want me to tell you like what? That's funny though. That's a good dynamic. But eventually, like, y'all get to the point where he probably
do it more often. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everything is in a relationship is about breaking down like the defenses to each other, because we all put defenses up to protect us from the people who don't love us, because most people don't love you.
Exactly. They just like the idea of what you are in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't listen. Like when you talk, they don't listen to what you're saying and how you say it and your body language. So
people don't try to understand each other.
Exactly.
They just see the world through their perspective, and that's all they could see. Once people can learn to step back from like their own perspective and see, that's what makes people good leaders though. It's because you have to understand the people that you're leading, their point of view. There may be some people who agree with the way you lead. There may be some people that when you do this one thing, that's that trigger that shut them down. But until you put yourself in their shoes, that person's going to keep shutting down every time you do that. So I feel like that's the problem with people, and some of it is just being defensive, some of it's not experience out talking to people. People have like echo chambers where everybody believes the same thing.
It's like, no, you guys need to, sometimes you need to like step away from really everything that you know and really just go like, me, I Google the simplest things. Like when I say the simplest thing, I'll be like, just simple. I don't even want to say the type of stuff that I Google, but I Google really simple things because I don't want to be brainwashed. Like I don't want to be the person that's done saw a viral tweet and that's my answer. Like, we're not doing that. No, too old for that. We were born too complex to just be that. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of people are easily influenced, but that's why media works the way it was. Like you as a rapper or you as a model, you are put in those positions by industries because they understand how fickle people are, like in things that they're willing to follow. I think that just speaks to that whole thing.
Yeah.
But so being in a relationship during COVID, how was that?
I wasn't in a relationship during COVID. Yeah, this just happened. We've only been dating for a few months.
Okay, so finding somebody during COVID, how did that work? 'Cause I know COVID ended a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
It also started a lot of families. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely did. I actually got a nephew out of COVID.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
My brother had a kid. It's the cutest thing ever.
Surprisingly, I don't know anybody. It's something about, I've never been to a wedding.
What?
Yeah, I've only been to one, besides a family member, I've only been to one delivery room. Yeah.
Nah, I've never been to one song, but I've been to a couple weddings though.
Yeah.
But that's I don't know. I feel like as Black people, we got to get back into that. But you know, a lot of us don't want to get married. A lot of us don't want to have kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of the things that we don't want to do.
Why do you think so?
I don't know. I feel like as a woman, a lot of the times, I'm not going to say that having a child is hard or anything like that, but I will say that it takes a mental toll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just I can't imagine. I'm not a mother, but I can only imagine just me having my nephew. Like, I damn near got to make sure he's alive every day. I got to keep him alive all day. That's mentally draining. You know what I'm saying? So having to do that 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, it's very mentally tired, especially when you do have, not blaming the man, but especially when you do have a man who's there but doesn't really help.
Yeah.
That's even more draining because like you here, but what you here for?
Yeah.
Like, what
it's like doing? You see help, but you won't help.
See help, type, like, help me. You know what I'm saying? You see I need help. Like, I'm struggling my hair crazy. Like, all type of stuff. That's why I don't have kids.
Do you think you'll ever have kids?
I think so. Yeah. I think, cause I think I'm too, I don't know, like,
you want like the white picket fence, like you have the fairy tale dream? No. What?
I don't want that dream. I do want a family, but I want the type of family that, we travel, you know what I'm saying? We go to events together. Like, this is what we're building. If we have a dynasty that we're building, we're all gonna work towards it. We're all gonna do our part to fix it. Like, that's the type of family I want. Like, I want my kids to be like, from birth, like, know that they have to work for what they want. Even though I'm gonna give them a lot of stuff. I'm gonna give them anything, but I want them to know that they have to work, because in this world you have to work. no matter what. Like, everybody has to work.
So back to the question though. So why do you think people don't want to get married anymore?
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I feel like as women, they just don't want to be mentally drained. Like, not only that, it's like a lot of women don't even want to put up with a man. How can you be married if you don't even want to put up with a man?
Why don't you want to? Like, what is putting up with a man?
Just like him being in your presence. Like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of women just get irritated with men. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of women don't really, I don't know if it's because they're gay or if they just can't stand, like, being around a man. But a lot of women, I don't know if it's like an inferior thing or if they kind of, like, I don't know. They might think they're too good. I don't know. Me personally, a lot of what I see Black women say that they're not about to get married to anybody. They'll stay single. You know what I'm saying? They're not about to have a kid for nobody. They'll stay single before they do that. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be like the littlest like mishap if he do this or if he do that. Like, no.
I think a lot of women. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna add this. I think everybody has their own trauma that they base it off of. You know what I mean? Like, as a woman, some women can't handle stuff like that. Like, our emotions get in our way. We get crazy. We throw shit. We yell. A lot of women can't handle that. So I think that's why too. Like, a lot of women know their boundaries and they know how they would act in today's world with a man if anything didn't go their way.
But okay, so I think the reason women have this outlook on men is because of the men. And I'm not gonna, because I understand the issue when guys say it's the ones they choose, right? It's not necessarily the ones they choose. It's that you only pick from the guys who come to you, right? So like I said earlier, like, good people typically just be living a life. Like, I did a public interview yesterday and this girl was like, and if you looked at her, you would think like people is in her DMs all day, right? So I was asking her like, what are your red flags in a relationship? And she was like, well, I don't know. I haven't dated in so many years. She looked like she was like 25, 26. So years is like height. You haven't dated nobody.
Like, a lot of women are like that though. Like, they're like, ooh, I'm good. Like, I don't know what happened in their life to make them, but they're really like, man, I'm good. Like, I don't have time. Yeah. And it might be a thing where I really don't have time, but I feel like it's more. I feel like it's deeper. I feel like it's really like a bad experience or just low tolerance for relationships. You know, after one relationship, you could have no tolerance for one. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm somewhat of a lover girl, so I don't really look at all my relationships as doomed if they went bad. You know, or any future man that I'm gonna be with. I like to have optimism too.
Yeah, optimism is good. I think what I would want women to understand is like, you have the ability to choose who you want. Like, I think a lot of people don't believe that, and like when you talk to them, like, their gauge on whether something is out there for them is if people approach them. Well, nobody talks to me when I go to the club. Nobody bought me a drink tonight. Nobody. Sometimes you have to go, like how you said you have to work for things in life.
You sometimes you put yourself out there sometimes.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in the space of the person who may be good for you. Because like, I know me, there be times like, there are people who seem like good, but like they just, and maybe it's a scar from my life, but it's also a lesson from my last relationship.
Like, a lot of people be really scarred. Like, that trauma be real. Like, damn.
Yes,
and it, like, it'll trigger you too. In the next relationship, you're like, damn, what just happened?
Yeah. And I want to be like not as traditional as possible, but I do think like it's the guy's responsibility to like lead y'all into a relationship. I do believe that, but I also from my past relationships, it's like, look, if you're not at least willing to come to the center, I'm good.
No, for real. A lot of women will just expect you to just come the whole way. And that's not, I don't think that's fair. I don't really want to, like, no woman to look at me like, like, no, it's not fair. Because if a man didn't want to do nothing for you, you would have something to say off rip, and you wouldn't want to chill with him. You wouldn't want to be with him. So why should a man, not saying that women are not beautiful, because we are beautiful creatures. You know, we can deal with a lot, we can handle a lot, but we should be able to show our counterparts the same respect, because they can do a lot. Like, men are capable. Like, I don't know where this came from, that men are weak and men are not capable. I don't know where that came from, but I don't think that's true.
I think it came from, like, there's a certain guy out there, and I didn't know they existed.
I think that was my ex. I think that was my ex.
So there's a certain guy out there, and I watched this video, and they were talking about he was like I forgot what the title of, but this man was like the leader of the He-Man Woman Hater group. All right, listen. So
He-Man Woman Hater.
He would say things like, "It's my duty to lead, and you should fall in line."
No, wait, because what? Why do you even have a group called?
Well, nah, that's something my homie Sniper Jones came up with.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, we always say that for dudes who like
that is so
hate
funny
women.
though. Yeah.
So
hold on, it's funny that you're saying this though, because you have a podcast, and you know, like, podcast dudes are usually the ones that be talking about women. Like,
that's why I hate them. I don't like them.
You be like, you know what, women? Would you over here talking about the men like that?
Yeah.
Tell us, enlighten us,
look,
Holla.
There's those guys out there, right? So what happens is most dudes who like are really about something, they just continue leading. They don't hop in the comment. But I'm a very like argumentative person. That's why I do it. Right. But most dudes, they're weirdos, keep it moving. Right. But in the course of that, while that guy's focusing on his dreams and stuff like that, there's the dudes that are in these rooms and they feel inferior to those guys, right? Those guys then go into rooms with girls and say, well, you know, since I'm a man, I'm the leader. When there are a lot of women in that room, actually probably better leaders than you. Yeah. But they think just because of their genetics and what people say it typically should be, the man should be the leader, the woman, they take that and try to bash them over the head, right?
Yes. I feel like, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
But I feel like people just like try to drill stuff in your head.
Yeah.
Like, just because we're this way, we have to be this way. Like, no, what you think our ancestors and our mamas and daddies and our grandparents did, they made it work for the time being. They always made it work, whether they hated it or whether they not. I'm not saying that we should all be miserable and just deal with shit, but I don't know. I just feel like nobody really cares.
I think people don't understand the importance of life, and a lot of people, maybe it's because they had no like thing that made them put life in perspective. Like, I got time, I could do what I want. People usually live like that, haven't really came to grips with the consequence of life, right? And that you got one life, right? And if you fumble it away, you could do it doing whatever you want, right? But and a lot of people, they don't understand the quality of life that's out there, right? I know people who've never traveled. I know people who've never been out of the country, people who's never been on a plane. So like those people, it's hard for them to put in perspective life. But back to the question though, is like,
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the question.
No, it was about the dudes, right?
Oh yeah, so what'd you say? The
He-Man Woman Hater group. Yeah.
That shit tickles me.
Yeah. So the He-Man woman, it's those guys who approach women. They're the guys like the Fresh and Fit podcast. I'm pretty sure you've seen them.
Yes.
It's the weirdos, right? That eventually some of them get money. You know what I'm saying? And they think because of their genetics, this is how life is supposed to be, right? And that's not necessarily true. And if you actually sat down and had conversations with women, you will understand, like, they just like you. They have the same emotions as you do.
We just have boobies.
Exactly.
And a coochie. Like, and sometimes, like, I feel like most of the time, when it's like, it'll come to a situation where a guy will be like, damn, like she is just like me. Like, well, duh. Like, I don't know what you, I'm human just like you. Like, yes, I have the same desires. I be wanting to do the same. I want to have fun. Like, don't nobody want to work all day, which granted y'all did start working before us. Yeah. Which I'm thankful that women got to work, because I couldn't imagine like
not working.
With the grandma, the grandma, what our grandmas and great grandparents were doing. I don't think I could have did that. But I'm glad, like, with things being so lenient to how they are now, it's like, I don't know, how could you fuck it up? Like, us as humans, we always fuck it up. Women, men, like,
I think dudes haven't been taught to deal with, and this comes from men not being able to express their emotions. I feel like guys haven't had a generation to figure out how to handle a woman that is just as equipped to handle all the society things that you can handle, right? Because we come from two different, we may walk on the same earth, but we have two different experiences.
Literally.
When you go into a room as a rapper, you are treated away, and you've been treated that way since you started rapping. Right. Me as a rapper, I could go into a room and been treated totally different. So my perspective on it is going to be a lot different than yours. Doesn't make us different. Right. But now that we're both able to be rappers, we don't have to be enemies on the other side of that. Right. So there was a time where women couldn't work, and the greatness of our society is that we used to have the industrial revolution where it was factory jobs and all labor. Now, a woman could make $250K typing on a computer. Literally. So now the financial part, y'all could do exactly the same. Let's work on the other parts. You were dominant because society swayed in your favor 60 years ago. Right. It's not like that anymore. Yeah. So let's move past that. Like, if we keep... nobody ever says, like, these cell phones, bro, we need to go back to rotary phones. Like, there's
nobody ever really said. Nobody's going to say that.
Exactly. Nobody ever wants to go backwards except for when it benefits themselves. Right? We have moved forward. Let's continue to move forward.
We got to do. We definitely got to make it better. I feel that.
Yeah. But I think that's what I've learned is that women usually are scarred by those type of dudes. Right. And I think dudes are, I don't know.
I think a lot of dudes don't understand what being a man is. Just like a lot of women don't really understand what being a woman is. Like, not saying that we have gender roles. No, nobody's talking about gender roles, but just genuinely, like, being a woman, being a nurturer, like a natural nurturer. We be having attitudes for no reason. And I know it a lot of the times to be because of a dude or because of maybe how we're feeling on the inside, but we're not supposed to be. Like, I don't think we're supposed to be like that as women. I don't think we're supposed to harbor an attitude like that. Yeah. As a woman, you know what I mean? Just in
where do
our
you think that comes from?
As a black woman, I'm not gonna lie, everywhere.
For real?
Everywhere. Like, you get it from your mom, you get it from your dad. It might be underhanded from your brother. It might be side eye from your boss. Like, you get it everywhere. And I feel like as black women, we're mostly empaths, even if you don't think that you are. So a lot of the times we'll catch it in our subconscious, like, was that like a funny comment? Yeah. And I think that's where I think that's where we get it from as women with the attitude, because we'll catch a lot of stuff and be like, what was that?
What was that?
Like, was that? Am I supposed, like? And then I think a lot of the times the way we feel about stuff like that, like, I know I'm not wrong for how I'm feeling. Yeah. I can't be wrong for how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? I would never feel like this if I did. But I think that's where it comes from. Yeah.
I think a lot of that goes back to, like, the little Jimmy and little Sarah falling on the ground type thing. Because, like, a dude may hear that same comment and don't think nothing of it because there's nothing I could do about it. Like, if it was one of them type of comments, like, what am I going to do about it? And if somebody wants to take it to that point, I'm willing to meet them at that place. As a black woman,
we think we can do anything. We do. I will. We think we can do anything about anything. Not literally, but we think that we can. Even though it's something that we, like, really can't do nothing. Like, even though, like, realistically, it's probably really something that we really can't do. Like, even if it's just talking to somebody, we'll try to talk to them.
What do you think? So you mentioned like the man rhetoric on the internet. How do you feel about the women's rhetoric on the internet?
Like what they do on the internet.
Yeah, so like guys that talk on the internet, like, you know what I'm saying, women are this and that, blah blah blah. So
They're I feel like some of the times we are the reason. Just you about to get me in trouble with my sisters. Like, don't do this. Don't do this to me. Well, I'm gonna say it anyway, just because I feel like we need to get it together one of these days. So I think that a lot of the times it'll be for us posting, which I could be wrong, but I know a lot of the time, sometimes if I'll post a selfie video, if I'll post back then if I posted a selfie video, or if I post like a picture with like a low cut top or something like that, it'll just be for attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are not going to admit that. A lot of women are going to say that they want to do it for themselves, or because they feel this way, or whatever. But no, it's a strict attention thing, which is nothing wrong. You know, women, like you said, that we're born with getting attention all the time. So it's nothing wrong with wanting attention. You just, at that time, I feel like you have to kind of find a way to give it to yourself a little bit, because that's going to be the best, rather than somebody, Jimmy from 1,000 miles away, putting heart eyes under your picture or in your DMs talking about let's be friends, or send me this, like. And I'm guilty of it too, but you kind of have to grow out of it. That. You know what I'm saying? To reach the next level of being a woman, I feel like you have to grow out of it, because realistically, no man is gonna, I'm not gonna say no man, because there's men out there who don't really care how their women are, but it just, like, if you walk into a room dressed a certain way, the reactions are gonna show. You know what I mean? Like, you walk in a room,
there's a certain type of energy that comes with every aura.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. It definitely is a certain type of energy with that. Even on the internet, like.
And there's a lot of dudes who carry like that street, you know what I'm saying? But like, and then girls would be like, I don't want to be out fearing for my life, people shooting up the whip, you know what I'm saying? But the aura that you put out, that's
what you're going to attract.
Exactly.
And that's what I feel like that was my biggest problem, because I didn't really, and it could be like, it was an insecurity thing with me too. Like, okay, so you're trying to get attention and you're insecure, so it's like that double, like, as a woman, like, let me just show y'all my booty, or look at these shorts, or just whatever, like, I put on makeup, like, I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad to talk about, because it's like we almost all seek validation as women, and a lot of women are not gonna say that or admit that, but we do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women can't just sit back and chill and not be nothing, but just sit back and chill and just be 100% yourself. You don't, all the attention doesn't have to be on you all the time.
Yeah. You know I don't like how women try to flip like attention or compliments into something that's not. That's why personally, I'm a very like, to my friends, I'm a very like, oh, this nigga fresh, all right. You know what I'm saying? If I have a friend that's a girl, like, oh, I see you, you know what I'm saying? Oh, blah. But like, I'm very reserved. Like a dude that's out in public, if he pop out like, I'm like, yo, nigga, yo, stand over there. I ain't trying to be in a picture next to you, nigga.
Right,
like,
you fresh.
Hype them up type shit, right?
That's me. I'm like, girl, you know you wrong with them, but
see, but I can't do that to girls, because they now take that and like use it as a weapon. Like, you give a girl one compliment and it's, he was trying to talk to me. Or you give, I remember, I told this story already. I think I told it to Denisha, right? I'm like, I was on somebody's IG live. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Tell your friend, you know what I'm saying? Have a good day. Trying to be funny, because I just popped in there. Right. I be telling jokes. Right. My friend was like, oh, tell him my nail appointment at 6:00. I'm like, we could have had a nice, funny back and forth and went about our day, but you had to turn it into that. Yeah.
It definitely does get turned into more with women. Like, I don't know where we got this from. I really don't. Which it could be a society. It is. I think it is a society thing. I'm not even gonna say could be. It's definitely a society thing. But it's like, we don't really like. We don't give men breaks.
Yeah.
Like, at all. It's like, you definitely you like what you said. It's really like that. Like, no, when I say it's really like that, like, I'm guilty of it at times where I've been single.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of it. Like, I'm not one of those type of women that just need my hair done and my nails done all the time.
Yeah.
But I will ask for money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if it's just to see, like, if a man is willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's just like, I just want the money, I don't care.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll be both, but I think it's between those two lines. Like, a lot of women ask just to see if a man will do it, and if he will do it, then like, what comes after? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you would do this, what else would you do?
Exactly.
Like, I feel like men do that to women too. Like, what else? Like, I don't know. Like, if the man cheats on a woman, and then it's like, okay, so you come back to me after this, what else can I go do? Yeah. You'll come back to me after. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of like the equivalent to like the money thing with women. You know?
I think that's why, like, but those relationships are, like, in my eyes, like, bad relationships, or
horrible relationships.
Have one good person and one bad person,
because they're based off one thing.
Yeah.
You can't get nowhere based off money. Because let me tell you, black men especially, are the lowest paid men on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not saying that we can't get there, but a lot of the times they don't get the same opportunity as a white man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a white man is going to spend all his money on us because he got hella money that he don't know what to do with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then, like, a lot of people prop up, like, the 1% of black men, like the rappers and the entertainers, and they're like, well, look, he did that. Like, also,
look what he's doing, though. Like, look what he's talking about. Look what he's representing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get on our black people, but I do feel like we just be needing the most help with stuff like that because we're lost. You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, we don't really have a grasp on real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have a grasp on the entertainment world and that aspect of it and what we're supposed to be. There's more shit out here for us.
So how do you feel about the term pick me?
I feel like people would call me a pick me. But I feel like a pick me, I don't know. For me, I would never use that word because it's just like, why? Where did y'all get that from?
I think it's so bad that you should want to be picked by your partner. Like, that's so dumb to say. Like, you should want, I think, and it comes from a level of maybe like insecurity on a woman.
Definitely insecurity.
It's like, you got this guy who got money, but you let him cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? All this other craziness, right?
Because I'm pretty sure, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm pretty sure that she is probably with a man who's cheating on her, but he don't have money. So he can't get her a new Chanel purse. Mm-hmm. So she do got to go back to work with the thought of her man cheating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jada probably got a different life than us. She probably get to wake up. If little baby cheat, he probably sent her out on vacation somewhere first. Yeah. Not justifying it or anything, but he makes her a priority first. Like, a lot of men just out here be cheating. Like, no, I'm not about to give you anything, and I'm about to cheat on you. Like, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Just as a woman, it doesn't feel good. So I get where the bitterness stems from. Yeah, you looking at that like, he cheating, but he's cheating on you. Like, exactly. And I feel it when people say you would rather get cheated on by a rich man because he can do for you at least. Like,
but I think, like, you should just find a good relationship. That's the, like, I feel like people feel like they don't have control over their life, which they do. And once people realize you have control over your life, then you will make different decisions. Like, my decision shouldn't be like, dang, these girls are only gonna want me for my money, so I might as well at least, you know what I'm saying, date the baddest one I could get. No, just find somebody who you enjoy being in a relationship with. I think that's the solution. But people don't believe that they can reach that. So let me just find a guy with money who's going to cheat.
I think people want to display their relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And some relationships are really not displayable compared to the other relationships that are displayable. So when they get in that non-displayable relationship, it makes them almost feel like their relationship might not matter, or because this woman is getting purses and stacks of money and this, that, and the third, but you just getting regular kisses from your man on his forehead and dinner. Like, I don't know. Some women look at that as like.
But see, but like you said, people have this stranglehold over people, and materialism is there, right? Because me giving you I'm a person who, like, if you buy somebody a gift and give them a gift card, I'm like, that's the worst thing you could give them, because that means you don't know this person at all.
Right.
Right. So if I could just throw you a stack of money or throw you a purse, you know what I'm saying? Of course, like, she's going to like a purse.
Exactly.
But what she's going to like more is that she enjoys every day. So what may be this, you may be like a horror movie buff, right? And he may take you to the movies twice a month to see whatever horror movies come out. That's displayable for you because that's what you enjoy.
Exactly.
But you're looking at what other people are receiving and saying, but I don't have that. If you're they say comparison is this thief of joy.
Oh my gosh. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are so unhappy. And I was honestly just talking to my dude about this the other day, because I'll have times where, you know, like, I'll stay off social media, but it'll be times where I'll just be on there. You know, I'll switch from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and it'll be a cycle. And I'm just on there, whether it's for a day, two, not straight, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm going on my phone to do instead of doing other stuff. So I'll find myself almost falling into, like, I don't want to say depression, but it almost is like a depressant, like, I don't know, like social media is really like a depressant drug, because it's like, damn, like, you get on Instagram and you see a whole bunch of people bragging. It could be real, it could be fake, you don't know, but it's what you see. So your subconscious automatically is going to be like, damn, why don't I have that? I wish I had that, da 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 da. And I feel like that's what stems from our unhappiness. Yeah. Just unrealistic expectations from other people's lives. Yeah. You know, but
I think that's speaks to like a level of self-awareness that I feel like a lot of people don't have. I don't want to say women or men. A lot of people don't have. It's a people
thing. Yeah, it's definitely a people thing now. Because now that we're all equal and we can, you know, do that and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's a people thing now. Definitely.
Like, I had a conversation with somebody that I dated before, and I asked them. They were like, "What do you want?" Like, I don't know what her? Yeah. No. She asked me this because we were having a conversation. She was like, well, what do you want? I was like, there's a way I want to be treated. There's nothing you can give me that is going to make me happy.
That's the thing from a man. You can't give a man anything. Yeah. Like, and that's what we don't understand. We be trying to, like, oh, well, maybe if I do this for him, or maybe if I give him this, maybe if I give him some coochie. You can't give him that and expect that he can go get that anywhere. He can go get gifts anywhere. He can get, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's women out here who are willing to give your man everything that you will not give him. But if he's there, it's obviously something that he wants from you.
Yeah, it's an action. You know I think for dudes, it's like an action. Like, people, a lot of women go into a relationship as like, this is the rest of my life. That's why a lot of people make the joke about a wedding is the beginning of a woman's life and the end of a man's, right? Because, like, you no longer have the rights to happiness. I've never seen a man say happy wife, happy life with a smile on his face. Never happened. Right. All right. So I think with that, now that we've moved into a stage where women could have jobs and provide other things, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could live a different type of lifestyle than people used to. Right. It's a way that you carry yourself that, like, people always make the meme, like, when the chef forgets to take the onions off my burger, and your girl go up there and wow. Yeah. He wants you to fill in the gaps, just like he fills in some of the gaps of your life, right? You couldn't buy I'm not gonna say you couldn't buy the bag, but you could have. But you
couldn't, because if you could have, you would have. True. So, and you would have that bag before he had that bag for you. That's just how I look at it. Like,
I had to say it. I had to let you say it. So
anything. And I tell my boyfriend, like, I don't need you for your money. Anything that I want, I could go by myself. You know what I'm saying? I be needing that peace of mind. Like, I need you to actually care about why I do have an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
Yeah. I feel like it's just picking up in places like, I know like issues that I've had was like, being responsible for all the decisions. Like dudes, they have to, like there's this idea like if you want a girl, you ask her out on a date, you plan a date, you pay for the date, you blah blah.
I bet y'all was over that. Like this, I'm tired of asking bitches on dates.
Yeah.
Like,
But where it carries over to is once you get in a relationship, it's like I have to make all the decisions in my personal life. Like for people who have 9 to 5s, maybe like it's a little less on them, but like being an entrepreneur, my whole life is decisions from when I wake up till I go to sleep.
for real, you got to make the right ones, or else that could cost your whole shit.
Exactly.
So I get it.
So when I come to my relationship, I don't want to be responsible for every decision. Like, please pick a restaurant.
Like
I'll pay for it. I don't care.
Something, right?
Pick something, bro. I am done making decisions for the day. But like, it got to that point where it was like, all right, I guess we're not doing nothing because I'm done. I'm not making no more decisions.
I'm not about to go harder than you going, and you the one who want to go eat.
Yeah,
I get it, because that's how my dude is. Like, I know I'll irritate him sometimes, and he's like, bro, you irritate me all about this extra shit when I told you this is what we doing. So just pick, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, plan out the day if you want to, type shit. Like,
and then it's and I hate bringing up because I have cordial relationships with 99% of the girls that I dated. So like I'm not a bashful person. There's people who I had friendships with that I don't have friendships. I'll talk about them all day. Anyway, I just don't want to paint people in like a
bashful person.
Yeah, I'm not like a bashful person of people who I still, you know what I'm saying? But
I try not to be bashful too, but if you did something, I think that's you know, and I hate to bring zodiacs in it, but
okay,
I think that's
so you're
just
a
like
zodiac sign person?
I'm not, but
Okay.
I feel like sometimes when I do certain stuff, I be like, damn, that's some Scorpio shit. 'Cause I know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta be like,
yeah.
Cause I'll notice it, cause my dude is the same sign as me, so I'll
For real?
notice a lot of the stuff that I don't like that he does to me. I know that I've done it to other people, so I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, can't even say nothing.
Yeah.
Can't even sit there and say nothing.
Have you ever been cheated on? Did you catch them?
I was like this close to catching it, and I only say that I was this close because I chose not to catch him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just
What was that
around.
story?
Okay, so I remember when I had to be like 20 or 21, you know, still fresh in a relationship.
Yeah.
This is when I was like, I don't care. I'm acting however. If I gotta pull up on a nigga without saying nothing to him first, then that's what I do. Then that's how I really acted. So I ended up, I didn't have a phone around this time. So my phone was working off Wi-Fi. I ended up going to my brother's house. I told him I was going to my brother's house to smoke with my brother or whatever. I ended up going to smoke with my brother. Then, like, I don't know, like a couple hours went by. I wasn't supposed to go back over there. And I think that's where it kind of like fucked it up.
So you wasn't supposed to go back to your boyfriend's house?
Yeah. I was not supposed to go back. I told him I was going home. But I ended up just something like, let me just go over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going over there, and I'm knocking on the door. It's like 10 o'clock at night. So I'm knocking on the door, and then like 2 doors down. And I don't know if this just like, you know how sometimes stuff in your life will just stop you from doing certain shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if this was something that was really going on, or if this was just one of those things that just stopped you from doing something. But it was like 2 doors down, like it sounded like 5 dogs just going crazy, like like screams and everything. So I turned around and looked, because I was trying to ignore it, like, you know, maybe it'll go away. I turned around and looked. His mom opened up the door. So I ended up walking in, and I was standing at the door for like 5 minutes. Yeah. So I ended up walking in, and his brother, I walk in because it's like the foyer, and then you walk in the hallway, then it's like you walk in the kitchen, and then it's like the living room. So I ended up going to the living room. His brother was sitting there playing the game, and I was like, you didn't hear the door? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all like, he was like 14 at the time. So he was like one of those like knucklehead, like we always used to fight about watching movies. I'm like, you ain't hear the door or whatever? So he was like, oh no, I was just sitting here playing the game. Like, I genuinely felt like he really didn't pay no attention to the door. But his mom, I think his mom kind of knew what was going on, because when she opened the door, she just went back upstairs. Like, didn't say nothing to me, just went back upstairs. Yeah. So it was weird. So I ended up going upstairs. Now, I told you he was a producer. And what he used to do when we was having sex, like, Lord forgive me for having sex in this man's mama's house. Yeah. but he would like make a beat and then like play it back to back to back, like all night. Mm-hmm. But he would turn it up loud, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
no, but you wouldn't
hear nothing. So the beat, like, it was a beat playing and it was really loud. So I ended up knocking on the door, and then he finally opened it. And like, so when he opened the door, it was like he opened it, but like he didn't let it open all the way. It was just kind of cracked. Like, yeah, you good? Like, he was from New York, so he opened like, you good? What you doing here? Like, da da da. I'm like, I just came to see you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, okay. So I ended up walking in. I'm about to walk in, and I seen, you know what I'm saying? I seen somebody under the cover, but I didn't really like go look. Yeah. But like, okay, so I'm walking in. I took like 2 steps in, and then he turned me around. But something was just like, Ryan, just go. Yeah. Because you're gonna fight. You're gonna have to fight or something. Yeah. Something's gonna have to happen. If you pull back them covers and you see whatever it is, you already know. So we ended up going back downstairs. Then he was asking me like, why are you here? This, that, and the third. Like, you bothering me, just all type of shit. Like, I'm bothering you, but how? Like, you know, like, how? I know I said I wasn't supposed to come over here, but and then when I was about to leave, he like, no, you can stay, da da da. But at that point, I just really didn't even want to stay, because
how long did the relationship last after that?
7 years. No, okay, altogether it was 7 years. We dated for 7 years, from when I was 17 to 23, like 23, 24. So we dated for a minute, but
and it was so much shit. Year 3, the year 4.
That probably happened like, year 3. I would say like year 3 is when it started to really go downhill. And you know what's so crazy? Like, after that moment, a lot of the stuff just went to go downhill. Like, he was the type of man, like, he'd really ignore me for like weeks at a time, and I'll be blowing up his phone, texting him back to back, like, I know you see me, da da da. But okay, so I really, sorry to say this, but not knowing what I knew back then, like knowing what I know now, he was on drugs. Okay. When I say like drugs, not no regular perk, just a Molly here, like coke. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, and coke is not like, that changes your whole, like, that makes you really aggressive. It makes you aggressive. It makes you forget. It makes you crazy. It makes you black out, all type of shit. And he used to do all of that. It was some stuff that he just did in one night and he wouldn't remember. I remember one day he was ignoring me or whatever. This is one of his ignoring spells. I see him in traffic. I'm following him in traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is so crazy.
Trying to call his phone. This nigga just looking at his phone with his friend sitting in the driver's seat. Like, and that was another thing. He used to always be passenger seat. I should have known. You know what I'm saying? Not taking nothing away from him, but I should have known. He was always a passenger seat driver. After that, not saying he had a car when we first dated, when we first started going together, but it just, I don't know, something happened to it. But yeah, I ended up following him all the way home that day. He pulled up, I pulled up. Like, what's up? Like, you just ignoring me?
Yeah. What did he say?
He was like, what's up? Like, you pulling up? Yes, I'm pulling up because you ignoring me. Like, I don't know what that's like. Like, I'm not that type of female to just be getting ignored and just stay there. But I really liked him. Like, I don't know what it was about him. I really liked him.
What do you think is well, do I know dude? I do know
you
dudes
might.
Who are like,
I was say the dude that I'm talking about, you might know him.
I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing out there, my boy. But anyway, look, so I do know dudes who will like follow girls to the end of the earth. But like, what is it about dudes that makes girls do that? Like, cause I'm not double texting. Cause if we're in a relationship, you will respond to me when you see it. Because I be busy in my life. And, like, when I see your message, I'm going to respond to it. Unless I'm like doing something I can't, it's worth the lengthier text message that I'm willing to type, I'm gonna respond. But what is it about? Because I've only heard this from girls so far on this podcast that they were like, I was blowing up his phone, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, because I'm not that type of woman either. Like, I don't like to blow up phones because I don't like nobody doing that to me. So I think what it was with me was it was almost like a ego thing. Like, and I was young too, so I'm like, we spent all this beautiful time together, and then I don't get the respect enough to get a text back or a call back. And I think that's what it was. Maybe a pride thing, like, so you're not gonna talk to me, like, yeah. And then I guess being emotional, that's what me blowing up the phone comes in. Like, damn, like, now I'm feeling away. Like, now you really just gonna ignore me, and that's really like nothing.
Yeah,
weeks. Like. And I'll give them some time, like a couple days. Like, I'll stop.
It's crazy. Like like, who was I talking to the other? I was talking to Dami in the last.
I don't even know how I survived in that relationship. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
well, I wouldn't blame you all the way because like, it's so hard because I have so little amount of relationships. People are gonna know who I'm talking about. But the one relationship, I can understand it to like a point because like. There was somebody I was pursuing a relationship with them, but they were in college. So like,
what grade were you in?
I was in college also.
Oh, okay.
So, they would paint things to me one way. In hindsight, I should have just left it alone. But like, because I'm understanding, I think
that's my problem too.
Is like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Because this is like right when I started YouTube too. So I'm like, all right, fine. You know what I'm saying? You got to be here for college for the next X amount of time. That like, I'm going to just focus on YouTube. That way, when you come back, you know what I'm saying? I'll have this big YouTube thing going on and we'll live our life from there. You know what I'm saying? And the texting was like weird. It'd be like, but then coming in hindsight, it was
weird.
What do you mean?
It was weird?
Yeah, it was weird.
Was it really weird? Like,
yeah, it was
the
like
way she moved was weird.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
But I knew it, but I didn't. There was no comfort. And I'm not a person who's like, I'm not about to make myself crazy. Like, if let me put this phone down and enjoy what's in front of me type. And what I should have did is I should have just left it alone. Because like down the line, it was another dude, right? That's what it was. But like when I started talking, I knew there was a dude down there, and I didn't care.
Right.
Do what you do, but it messed me up because you didn't have to lie to me.
Right.
You could have just told me the truth. I would have been fine with it. But like, I think the way the messages were going, it was like, oh no, I don't talk to this person no more, because you're trying to portray something to me. You don't have to lie. I accepted it when you told me. Like that, okay, because I know when you come, this nigga isn't gonna survive in your life,
right?
Like,
and a lot of niggas don't survive in women's lives,
yeah.
Because you know, I don't like women. Sometimes can be difficult to deal with. I think just as a standpoint, and like sometimes we can't always get our thoughts together 100% to communicate things clear. I'm not gonna sit there and call us liars, because a lot of women, they really don't lie. They just omit a lot of information because they don't know how to say it, because they might be scared of how you might react. Or
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be something little. It could be, I don't know, maybe she just don't want to tell you that part of her business because she might think you might judge her. Like, you know what I mean?
You told me already. I already knew. Like,
then why play games about it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, why?
Like, I would tell little jokes like, so all right, look. So I'll tell little jokes like, cause she never, I don't know if she said she never got a Valentine's Day gift or something. And that, bro, let's not even go there. Anyway, she told me she never got a Valentine's Day gift. So there was like this MAC lipstick, right? That I bought her for Valentine's Day. I made a joke like, hey, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't kiss your other nigga with this, you know what I'm saying? Joking.
That's a funny joke.
Yeah. Like, because I already know
don't kiss your other nigga.
Yeah, like.
But men are horrible at jokes. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when you really in a situation like with a dude and it's like they joke about little stuff like that, you be like,
yeah. But you chose to keep both of us in your life.
Yeah.
I know that, like, I knew he wouldn't stand the because that's not a nigga that you want to be with. If you put me, him, and you in a room and they force you, you're picking. It's not even going to be a choice, right? But I understand that you have needs that might need to be met, and I am not driving to your school
just to meet those needs.
Once or twice a month. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So like, just don't lie. I told please just don't lie to me.
Yeah.
All right. And not come to find out. So around like, I think it was like the weekend after Valentine's Day, I hop on her Snapchat. She has the lipstick on, but she's like taking selfies with the dude. I'm like, nigga, you like you could have at least held it down a little bit. Like, nigga,
who could have put some lip gloss on for the picture?
Exactly, bro. I'm like, and that it was kind of like your situation, because I feel like he knew or she told him, like, because there was a caption on the Snapchat. And like to this day, I'm like, I should have just, because if I would have read what it said, it could have stopped everything that happened after that. But since I didn't read it, I was kind of like, listen, this is what I kind of knew was going to happen. You didn't hold it down the way it was supposed to happen. But you know what? We're going to move forward from that. Right? But I should have read, that's one of my biggest is seeing what that said. Because if it would,
that's one of my biggest, not pulling back that fucking cover,
bruh. Because if it would have said anything that indicated that he knew about me, that would have let me know that I can't trust your loyalty.
Right.
Because even if you have something with me, keep it separate. Like, don't tell. You don't gotta
put our business to him.
What did Drake say? He said, "Bitch is more attractive when you hold it down." When he said that. Just hold it, nigga. Just keep that over there. Keep this over here. You don't gotta discuss me to him to me. Just be solid, right? And if I would have read that, because I feel like that's what it said. I feel like it was like implying like there's some other nigga, you not gonna. Because if I would have read, I would have never talked to her again. Never.
Yeah, that's what. And I feel like if I would have pulled back the cover, I probably would have never talked to him again. But it was so much that happened like after the relationship. Like after that, it was so much stuff. Like we got better for a little bit after that. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was something that he was like, damn, like, let me chill out on this cheating shit or what. You know what I'm saying? But we got better for a little bit. But then when I say it got so much worse, like after it got better, it got way worse. Yeah. And it just downhill after that.
What would you consider worse than that though?
That's when the drugs came into play.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Not only that, that's when the drugs came into play for me. Like, you know, I used to be on drugs because of him. Like, I know regular, I never did coke or anything like that, but perks, Zans, Molly, like stuff like that. Like,
how was it like going from somebody who didn't do that, being influenced into that like circle or that kind of life? Did you notice it when it was happening, or was it like this is a in the moment type thing? Like, who cares?
I think how I was thinking about it, I thought that it was gonna be like an in the moment thing. Like, this is not something that I'm gonna do often. But it ended up getting to a point where you're on drugs and I'm sober. I can't deal with you like this. Yeah. And I think that's just where it ended up and kind of went bad. Yeah.
The same thing kind of happened with me a little bit. But it was with liquor though, because I never drank, and then I think I drank like one time. I never drank till I was 21, and then I drank like one of them yards in Vegas, the little like tall things.
3 feet drink.
Yeah, but it only had like 2 shots in it, so it wasn't like crazy. I didn't really feel it. Yeah, and I had drunk one more time after that, but then. The night that we had linked up, you know what I'm saying? We went out. I'm like, I've never been drunk before, you know what I'm saying? So we go out to like Mirza. We drink like Long Island, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, I'm gonna get you drunk. We go back to the house, and her parents got like you know what I'm saying, all the liquor, right? So I'm mixing like Hennessy. It was horrible. Yeah, it was great. And I had work the next day, so I've never been drunk before. So I go into work, and this girl at my job, she's like, yo, listen, here's some gum. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo. But it was like a half day because it was like
here's some gum, I know.
Yeah, it was a Thanksgiving break. So like I had to go in on the Wednesday, but it was like a half day. And they ended up cutting the day shorter than that. So I wasn't in there for long. But like then I found myself like every time I go, you want to drink? And then we were like drinking every day.
Yeah, that's
but
how I
like
got.
when I look back at it, it's because of, I think, my perspective. I think it was the space she was in down there wasn't a space she felt comfortable. I became a comfortable space, and some of those habits came back. Because what I realized is after she left school, she used to drink every day. Like, then when she came back, she only drank like when we did stuff. We never drank recreational after that.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't notice that till way later in our relationship. Because it used to be like, literally every time we hang out, it was at least
Y'all
2
was
cups
drinking.
of drink.
Right. Y'all was drinking.
Yeah. So, but I got into that. Then when I started to fade out of it, because I started to notice like I have goals and this is messing me up. So
For real. I think it got away from me. I don't think I realized, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of good opportunities that I fucked up for myself.
For real.
I can say that now, being who I am now, looking back then, just because I know where my life went after. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it not saying that it didn't go anywhere, but I feel like if I didn't take certain opportunities that I had the chance to take and I just didn't take because of him or because of myself, whatever the reason was, it's just not good. But
yeah. So then we got to that point where she was like, I'm sober and or I'm drink. I don't want to drink without you. I'm like, but you can be your own person. Like, I be lit. Not. I don't have to drink to be lit around people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it makes it easier, right? But like I can go to the club and be with friends 10 shots in and be just as lit as they are in the party, right? And then I think that further like started to deteriorate our relationship. Most of it was like, cause like I see the line in the middle. This is where I'm going. And then like during COVID, I had got to a point like in making content that like I have more money than I have ever had in my life. Right. So
no,
we were
real.
doing different things. Yeah. So it's like, you still look, you better get closer to the middle type.
Right, for
real.
You know
what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not gonna be here for much longer.
Yeah. And then our two of our birthdays were like back to back. Then after that, it was maybe like a week after that, it was over.
I can't do this shit no more.
Yeah. But I think like thinking back on the conversation, I think she like tried to bait me into like fighting for it. And I was like, because what am I holding on to? Like,
right.
What, like, if somebody told me to tell them what are the things that make me never want to let my relationship go, what would you think I would say? And like, if you can't think of anything, that would tell me that that you probably weren't treating me the best, right?
Right.
Because I have a laundry. I could pull up everything. But like, she's going to say this, because that's what I wanted to do for you.
Right.
But it wasn't like the other way, so.
Damn, that's crazy how that shit work out. It's almost sad, but I feel like we be put through trials and tribulations like that just to see who we are as people. Like, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna get out of this? I don't know how I got out of that last relationship.
So how do you think like you got past the traumas from that to give somebody else a chance in a relationship?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still traumatized. I just gave him a chance. Like, it still be stuff that I just be like, what the fuck? And I'll like, just saying this because I don't really want nobody to be thinking like, oh, I'm perfect or anything. But I'll have my moments where I'm crying and not really thinking straight and I can't communicate. And I know I'm hard to deal with at times like that, but I be so in my emotions. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? So it takes somebody, for me, it takes a man who's actually willing to sit there and be like, all right, chill out. Like, you know, I'm going to sit here while you chill out. I'm going to give you your time. But you need to like get it together because it's not what we doing. Like, I know you stronger than that. I know you got more to handle. Like, we not doing that. But I'm still traumatized. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I think the biggest trauma that like that relationship left me, because I don't think any other relationship traumatized me like until that one. But I think the trauma that it left me with is I don't believe anybody like anymore. No matter how good it seems, like I don't like believe you.
That
like
me. My guard is up so bad, but I have my moments where, you know, like I'll put it down just because it's not fair to some people. But that's me. Like I'll be like,
but
in the back of my mind, I'll be like, is this person with me or?
yeah, the only reason I don't put it down is because I don't need people to put it down for me. If I want to talk to you, like you're gonna know, like, oh, what this energy that I'm receiving from this is real. You're gonna know that, right? And the fact that people don't have, and I told her when we was in in the relationship, I told her like, it's not fair that everybody can like, everybody has me, but I don't have a me, right? So I told her, and it hurt. The thing that hurts the most is that, how can I phrase this?
Hurts you or her the most? Hurts for you?
Me,
Okay.
yeah. Is that if I held everybody to the same standard that I hold myself to treat them, I would have no friends. And like,
I think the same thing about myself.
yeah.
But I don't really get into it like that because I know a lot of people aren't mentally there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obstacles you have to go through to get mentally there. It's obstacles you got to go through with yourself, with the closest people to you, with your closest friends, with, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, like, you got to really, it takes work to get there.
Yeah.
To really think that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I value myself enough to talk to somebody if I want to, but not let them control me because people can be convincing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
people can be, I've heard people, like there's people who have been around me and like, they seem like a good person. I'm like, okay. But when I talk to them, I could hear them change their answers in conversation based on what they think I believe, right? So one of the questions that's why I'm not a person who cares about people's past. If I think you're solid and you'll be solid to a relationship, nigga, you could have smashed the whole world. I don't care. But like, there was somebody who was and we're having a conversation. She's like, yeah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So how did this question pop up? Because I'm also not the dude. I'm never going to ask because I don't care. So she ends up asking something. I can't remember. And then I was like, well, I don't remember the immediately before that part of the conversation, but she was like, it led to like, how do you feel about like casual sex, right? So she gave her perspective. And I told her after, I was like, I don't really like, for what, like, cause
for what?
It's only going to bring something
Problems?
negative. That's the only thing that could come out of that.
I hate
like,
casual sex too.
It's either going to be neutral or it's going to be negative. That's it. And I was like, blah, blah. Then she started to change her answer. She was like, well, I only been with this amount of people. She named a number, right? She was like, I only been with this amount of people, blah, blah. But of course, those are people like I was trying to be with. So it wasn't like casual. But like your answer to the casual sex question was totally different. So there's no way them two things could be. But usually once I talk to somebody long enough, I'm able to like see through like all of that stuff. But, and then there's people who I think like that are good, right? But I think because of their traumas, they won't come to the middle. But I'm only going to the middle. Once you show me you'll come to the middle, I'll go the 90 when I need to, and sometimes when you, because
Like
that lets
if
me
you
know
see they're
either,
lacking, yeah.
you're willing to bridge the gap. But if you're not willing to bridge the gap,
I respect that. I feel like I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I am wrong, then I'm always willing to be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can we fix it? 'Cause 9 times out of 10, you know, if you wrong, you don't really think you wrong. 9 times out of 10, when times where my dude think that I'm wrong, I don't be thinking I'm wrong. But I'll still listen. You know what I'm saying? I'll still like compromise. Like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I can get why I made you feel like that. Like, I didn't mean to. Like, that was an honest reaction. You know what I'm saying? Next time I'll do better. But it definitely takes the willingness. Like, nobody has the willingness to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in. Because it's like, you just not necessarily give up, but you just gonna lie about it like it's not an issue. A lot of people don't really want to have real conversations about shit. Like,
what's the biggest lie you think somebody ever told you?
I don't know if this is like the biggest lie that somebody ever told me, but this is the first one that popped up to my head.
Yeah.
I remember my cousin was trying to hook me up with one of her clients. She do hair. So she ended up braiding this dude's hair, and she tried to hook me up with him. And this is like right after my relationship. So she's like, yeah, girl, like he this, he don't got no kids. He focused on his career. He got something up here. Like, he got his own shit, like all type of shit. So she hyping him up, like, I'm gonna give you his number, and boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, okay, cool. Off rip, you know what I'm saying? He was a really great guy. He ended up sending flowers to my job. And just all type of stuff, like taking me on nice dates and everything. I remember one day I went to his house and I cooked him some food. This is when I knew it was kind of weird, because he was like, oh yeah, I want you to cook for me. And it's like, nobody really says that. You know what I'm saying? You haven't really said anything else like along the lines of wanting to be with me or nothing like that, but you want me to cook for you. So I thought it was kind of weird, but I still ended up going to do it. Cause I like to cook, so I ended up like, yeah, he gonna taste it, he gonna like it. So I ended up going to cook for him, and then after that, my cousin called me. And she was like, "Girl, I got so much shit to tell you." And I was like, "What happened?" She was like, "Yeah, cause I think he told me he was like 35." But when my cousin called me, he was like, "Girl, he's 46, something like that." I swear to God, I ended up saying something to him.
Wait, she called you while
no, this was after the fact. This was like a day or two after. She was like, "Girl, I gotta tell you something." And okay, it wasn't her client. She just ended up just like taking him on because the girl who really do his hair wasn't there. So she ended up really telling her like, no, he got kids, he got a wife in Maryland, like he's 46, this, that, and the third. And I still got the text message of him apologizing on my phone. This was like 2 years ago. This was like 2 years ago. He was like, "I'm sorry for not telling you." I said, "You're 40." Okay, this is how I found out. Okay, so I ended up going back to see him because I left my blanket over there. So I ended up going back over there and I asked him for his ID. Yeah. And he didn't want to give it to me. And that's what kind of started it. So I'm like, "Why you just don't give me your ID?" He's like, "Why do you need my ID?" And I'm like, "Cause you lying about your age. Like, you're not 35, you're 40. He's like, "Man, da, da, da." I'm like, "I'm good." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to be here because it's weird now. Yeah. Like,
that's so crazy.
Yeah, like, yeah.
If you would have known he was 46, would you still have talked to him?
Yes. That's the thing. Because he was good looking. He was funny. He was sweet. Like, even if he would have told me, now maybe the wife thing, I probably would have been like, I don't really want to fuck with you, maybe. Yeah. But if he would have told me that he didn't have nobody and had kids, I still probably would have been like, okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you don't really want a relationship out of this. We're just having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't even asking me for sex or nothing like that. So I knew that wasn't really on his mind. He just wanted to have a good time, which a lot of men that age do. So I kind of should have put 2 and 2 together. But when he told me that, I was like, I gotta watch out. I gotta watch out for these niggas. I'm like, 46.
That's so crazy. I don't think anybody has ever like told me like a crazy lie.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was the biggest lie that I was like. After that, I don't even try to catch people in lies no more. I just be like, okay.
Like, a lot of times, like, if you just let people talk,
they'll tell them themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, people just
don't know when to shut up.
Yeah, that basically. So there's a lot of people like, and then I have a very good memory. So a lot of times I know you've lied to me. I'm just never going to bring it up. Right. Because, like, my trust in you is just going to deteriorate over time. And I tell all my friends, I tell people now, like, I'm not fixing no relationships I didn't break. Right. Like, so
And
Like,
I know I didn't break it. You want me to put overtime to fix it, bitch? You help. Like, relationship. That's what relationships are. Two people. It's like all the shit be one sided sometimes. Not even just with like boyfriend and girlfriend. Like friendships too. Like shit be so one sided.
I think like there's a certain level of respect that I give people, and if you're ever willing to dip past that, I don't want to fix it.
Right? Yeah.
One of my friends, we had we were already, our relationship was doing this because I was starting to learn who he was, right? And like based on the way people treat women, is gonna determine, like, your outlook on how you should treat women is going to let me know, like, how close I need to get to you.
Right, because if you're not treating women right,
yeah,
that's how I look at it too. Like, you gotta treat, especially if it's like your mother or your wife. Like, I'd pay attention to that too. Like,
yeah,
you have
or
to.
even like girls they talk to. In this case, it was girls they talk to.
Okay,
right. So obviously, when we were like in high school, like, I will only hear stories from you, right? Everybody always paints themselves in the better light. But as I got closer and started to see, we started to, because you're not a good person, right? Then we had a conversation that happened, and like the conversation went to a point, and I just looked into like blank space, and in that time, my moment in my head, I said, never talking to you again, right? So then a day went past, and he was like, yeah, can I talk to you real quick? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're brothers, you know? And in my head, I'm like, well, I told him, I said, look, there's a certain level of respect that you have for people who you feel a certain way about, you know what I'm saying? And in the future, I would just advise you, you know what I'm saying, to make sure you don't cross those levels.
Right, because some people not going to give you no.
Yeah, I'm not a second chance person, because nobody's ever needed to give me one.
But a lot of the time, some people are not even going to pinpoint where you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? To help you grow. Like him pulling you aside and you didn't have to say nothing to him. You could have just been looking at him like, okay, cool. And just going about your day. But, you know, for you, I feel like for you to actually say, like, this is your side, my side, and the actual perspective of what actually is. You know what I mean? Like, it's a respect thing. Like,
because it got to the point where even his girlfriend was like, why you talk to him like that? Like, because I'm like a person, I think people play on that. Like, if I feel like we have a certain level of cordiality or whatever the word may be, then I am not going to let you put yourself in a position where I would react in a way that is going to destroy our relationship. Right. So a lot of times I'll be letting people get away with like saying things or doing things that, like, look, if we weren't friends, this would have went a lot differently. But since I know you'll do this, let me just move myself further away from you type shit. And his girlfriend was like, yeah, why does it sound like y'all are about to fight when y'all talk? He's like, I would never fight him, blah, blah. But the only reason I know you would never do that is because I know who we are. Right. If you would have been somebody I was cordial with or acquaintance, this would have went totally different. You couldn't. But I feel like the guys in the thing that aren't dominant in rooms, he was one of them. Yeah. Like, he's a very talented person, but something about his mentality, he doesn't feel. That just be that.
Like, I feel like that'd be that insecurity within yourself, and it causes you to just do people wrong.
Yeah. And then, bruh. And like, once I noticed that, and after that day, I'll play on it after that, because I know, like, the one thing a lot of dudes like me for and dislike me for is, like, women are gonna respect me, right? Because I'm a good person. Right. So when I talk about things, they're going to gravitate towards what I say more than what you say. So I played on it after that. Every time his girlfriend would be around, I feel like dudes should do this and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're right. That's so... Because I know how to
boil his blood, huh? Well, I didn't know that shit. Like, somebody get this nigga out of here at this point. We don't even got to be friends. Get away from me and my bitch. Like,
Man. So, yeah, that ended up happening. But it was funny, though, in my opinion. But you have any questions? Sometimes people ask me questions, some people don't. So I was just going to make it a habit of asking people.
I mean, what made you want to start doing podcasts?
The reason I started doing podcasts is because I like to talk to people, and I feel like I'm able to bridge the gap between two people a lot of times. And like with the things I was seeing on the internet of people, like everybody thinks everybody's at war when it's not the case.
Right.
Like most people want to be cordial with the people around you, but if you look on the internet, black people hate white people, white people
it just
hate
makes
black
it hard.
people.
The internet dude just makes it hard.
Men hate women, you know what I'm saying? So like that's why I ask the questions that I ask on here, is because if a dude were to look at the girls on the internet, they would believe that all women just wanted your money. They still gonna sleep around. You know what I'm saying? They want to be single, hot girls for the summer type. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's why a lot of countries look at us like we don't really focus on nothing else because of what we portray on the internet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's our only little glimpse of America.
Yeah.
And look at what we show them.
Yeah, facts. I never even thought about it like that, but that makes sense. And the other reason I started, because like in my career on YouTube, a lot of people have like taken advantage of being around me, whether that is learning all the tips and tricks and then skating, right? Never hear from them again, or, you know what I'm saying, using me to get into another room, then going about their way. So like this way, if somebody is looking at me like, I'm about to take advantage of you, at least I'm gonna have a piece of content that lives forever to say that's going to generate something
money,
for me, right? So those are the main two reasons. I think I just got tired of like the stuff on YouTube is a filthy place, but the industry is way worse.
Oh my gosh, I know the industry. I feel like that's why I never really fit in, you know what I'm saying? Because it's times I'm like the female rappers that are big, like Rico Nasty. I'm not gonna say I've been in all their DMs, but majority of them I have. Like Asian Doll, I've been in her DM before. Bally Baby, I've been in her DM before trying to get a feature because I knew that they were gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but maybe that's the reason why we ain't never really worked together, because I don't know, maybe I'm not supposed to be in that industry, and I've always thought about that. Like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm like not like Lauryn Hill, but almost like Lauryn Hill. Like, just put me with the music part of it.
But I think that's why the internet is good, though. You could put out music and generate your own fan base. That's why you get people like Yeet, right? Or people
I don't even
like
know. Half of these people that are like big now, I'd be like, where did they come from? Like,
or like XXX, like he had a cult fan base before he touched the industry,
right?
Like, but that was all through the grace of the internet, right? People spreading those words around. So stay away from the industry. It's a nasty place.
Definitely. I think the Most High, I think in a sense he saves me from stuff like that, like opportunities that I don't take or get. I think he really, like, I think that'd be like, I don't know if you want it. Like, are you ready for?
But I would never say like give up your dream neither, though. Just make sure you just don't.
You gotta be smart.
Yeah, like the road is a lot longer, like independently, but I think it's more worth it
in the end, right?
In the end, the quality of life is different, though. A lot of them people, they because they always go to look how much money I got, right? But look how miserable you are. Like, look at, I'm not going to bring up an artist, but you could look at this artist, right? And see the way that they respond when they have negativity in their way ever since they've blown up, right? Before it was, oh yeah, we this.
I can probably name like 5 artists just from what you're saying. I can name like 5 that I think are like that. And that's the reason why I really don't follow a lot of celebrities on Instagram, because I don't want to see your money all day. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you have it, like, yay. But I'm just not trying to see that shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I would say. The industry. I went to an industry party. It was. I don't want to say whose party it was.
I won't say explain, because I have a
I'll
story.
Tell you whose party it is.
I have a story.
Okay, so
don't tell me who's. Don't tell me.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the podcast, but I'll tell you what happened. Okay. So we're at this party. People are having nasty conversations. And I'm talking about like not nasty like that. When I say like the most disingenuous conversations I've ever like
talking about people, or talking about like
trying to see what you got, what they can get out of you. If they can't get nothing out of you, they're like, let me go fill up my water. You know what I'm saying? I'm go get another cup of water. Go talk to somebody like right next to you.
Oh, wow.
It was nasty.
Okay.
And I'm like
dirty.
Yeah. And I'm like a very energy type of person. If you got good energy, you know what I'm saying? Eventually we can work on something later. But right now, let me just see if I like being around you. If we're even on the same page.
That's me.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what happened at that party. So there was this one dude, and he was like staring at me. I'm like, people was walking by. Oh yeah, I like your jacket. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like your blah blah blah. Trying to spark up conversations a little bit. But this one dude was because people started coming in, and I heard somebody. It was like 9:15, and they're like, yeah, everything's gonna start at 10. The person who was the face of the party, they were like, yeah, he's gonna be here at 10:45, whispering it. So I'm like, this was supposed to be, I was told this was supposed to be over at 9 o'clock. They're always telling me it's not about to start till 10:45.
You in the after party.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm straight. So I walk back, you know what I'm saying, there, and this dude's just like staring at the side of my face. I'm like, I'm like, hi, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what camera is that? Like, cause this nigga won't stop staring at me.
Just all in your face.
Yeah.
Like.
So I'm like, what camera is that? You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh yeah, this the blah blah. I'm like, oh word, yeah, that's a bet. I shoot with a, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh yeah, word, you know what I'm saying? They got you working tonight? I was like, nah. He's like, so what do you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a YouTuber. Oh, so what do you do on YouTube? Like, you do tutorials? Like, what's your YouTube about? I was like, just a YouTuber, you know what I'm saying? I just make content, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I just, whatever I want to talk about, I just
and he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I gotta, dang, I want to get your Instagram, but I feel like I left my phone. Walks like 3 steps over to somebody else and starts talking to them. And then like gets his phone out, you know what I'm saying? Gets they stuff. I'm like,
what is okay. What's the word for it? What is like, it should just be so ungenuine. Like, you could have not said nothing to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we could have
not said not one. You could have stared at me the whole time, or not, and not said nothing to me. Like, I don't understand what all that was about. Just for you to walk away,
exactly.
Like all the cap for
what?
Like,
we didn't have to do all that. Like, we could have. But a lot of times, people that are in those rooms
will do all of that.
Yeah, and everybody in this room is here for a reason, right? So, like, if it was a regular like function, probably wouldn't have never said nothing to me, right?
Right.
But since he knows, and like you're like the camera dude, there's no shade to people who come record events, but most of the time you're there to capture the people who have the eyeballs on them, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, let me see, maybe he's trying to get more work or whatever, but you ain't have to do that.
You definitely didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say not one word to me.
Exactly. And you didn't have to flex. Like, you could just be like, all right, that's a bet, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you around, and went about your business.
Right.
But like, you engaged and you don't know how to disengage. Like,
exactly. I think that's what it is. A lot of people don't really know how to disengage.
yeah, but you would know how to do that if your engagements were genuine. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna focus you. I'm about to go talk to these people over here. You know what I'm saying? See what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? Nice meeting you though. That's all you got to do.
Literally. But I think being a good person and having the industry prey on you.
Yeah.
It's like, if they know that they can't get to you, they'll treat you like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they'll almost like,
yeah,
like brush you off a lot of the times, or almost make you feel a way to, like, it's like they're trying to break you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make, like, you see, like, this particular artist is doing this, that, and the third, or this particular photographer is doing this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. But when it come to you like, well, damn, why? Well, I'm not doing this. It's because they're not, like, you're not what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I had to realize myself. Like, I'm not what they're looking for. Especially, I'm talking about all these black people, and we need to do better. They're not thinking about that.
Facts.
I'm not about to push no agenda for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's why I just...
Yeah. Divisiveness runs the internet. Like, because that's what... The number one thing that gets people to respond to a post on the internet is opposing opinions. Yeah. So like, if you say something like
people love being contradicted, like people love contradicting somebody.
Yeah. There's somebody in there.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I thought that was that bag again. Like,
Oh, no.
my bad, y'all.
But yeah, a lot, like, so if somebody says like, what's something that's not too controversial that I could bring up? Like,
Everything's controversial. I could say this couch is black. They'd be like, no.
Yeah, that's actually
Dark gray.
onyx. Yeah,
no, everything's controversial.
Yeah, so I think that's why they push it, because you know what I'm saying. Look at the Lil Durk NBA YoungBoy that's going on. Y'all seen what happened with Pop and Biggie. Why would y'all do this again?
Or why would y'all not think that it can be done again?
Exactly. Like sometimes, like from some perspective, I know what's going on is real, right? It's real people who have lost their lives between this back and forth, right? Knowing the industry though, also, like some of this is like antagonizing, because rap is a competitive sport. So we're competing, but the people around us, even though I know we probably never going to run into each other unless we make it a point.
Right.
People who I know may run into people you know, or people you know may run into me, or you may run into people I know.
Right.
Like, and that's how things spiral. But the industry, like, this making money. They did collectively like 20 million views first 2 days. That day, I
think it's a plot though.
You think so?
I think a lot of the times things that happen are publicity stunts, not necessarily people dying, but I think the result of the publicity stunts is why people die.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think in the beginning, I think they think this shit is all fun and games.
Yeah.
Like and it might not be the actual artist, like we gonna beef,
Yeah.
but it might be their people talking to their people, like we gonna cause this, we gonna throw this out to make a fan think that. Then once one fan thinks that, the rest of them gonna run with it. You know what I'm saying?
They pay blogs to post up, like. Academics said that companies have hit them up with things that incriminate their artist and tell him to post it, try to pay him to post it.
That shit is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like even I feel like podcasts, I feel like that shit is dangerous. You say the wrong thing, niggas, it's on your head.
Yeah. Like it's hard, because I try to tell people who come on here, because obviously I've been on the internet. I know what hate comments look like. You know what I'm saying? And there's people who have been here. I'll post a clip of them and I see them arguing with people in the comments. I'll call them and be like, look, the internet is not a real place.
Right. I be ignoring. Like I feel like people get so offended, like, cause I really like, I'll post something and I really like, I'll just let my comments come in. I won't say thank you. I won't say nothing. Like I act dead. Yeah. But it's not just because I think that I'm better or I think that I don't have to say nothing. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've talked to people all day in my DMs. You know what I'm saying? When I say all day, like I'm encouraging people, like what, like people are looking for me in my DMs, I'm responding. Like I don't feel like I need to display thank you a whole bunch of times or let's talk in my comments. Nuh-uh, we not doing that. If you want to leave a comment. Like that's what it's for. If I want to leave a comment on somebody else's page, they don't have to reply to me. Like I don't care about stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of the times people put emotions on the internet.
Yeah.
Or with the internet.
I know Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine's label, they were signed to the same label, and they label, you know what I'm saying, massage they beef.
Listen, it's so calculated. I feel like everything in this industry, maybe not everything in this world, but maybe everything in this world, that shit's so calculated. Like, it's like they almost knew that we're gonna go in this direction and we're gonna react this way, and this how they gonna eat this shit up. Yeah,
I mean, like, that's what. Did you go to college? So I went to college
for like a day. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I went to orientation and I went to like my first day. Walked out, never went back.
For real?
Yeah.
Bruh, so in college, I took this class. It was one of my like psychology prerequisites. So I took this class, and one was psychology. The other one was sociology. There were two classes for them things, but the brain is very predictive. Like if you put the brain in a certain state, it will respond a certain way. It's almost like a computer.
Right.
And if you can figure out what buttons to press, like you can predict the outcome of how people are going to respond to that.
That's what they do with algorithm. That's exactly what they do with algorithm. It's almost like they, like, you know, like how you'll be thinking about like, oh, let me go vacation. And then you'll be scrolling and you'll see an ad for the same place of vacation. Like, and you'll be like, damn. But they really, they're doing that shit on purpose.
Yeah.
They're connecting all of our energy with the phone energy. However, I don't know how.
Yeah.
But they're definitely connecting.
It's all data,
technology.
like data that they take in, and that's how and that's why people who entertain are so valuable to them. Because if you can get the eyeballs, we can place them in the places we want them to be.
Right.
So you have, I don't want to bring up. All right, we got Meg Thee Stallion, right? She got Popeyes. She got the back to school thing she did. She's on mad different things. You have the eyeballs.
Target. She got Revlon. She got all type of shit.
Exactly. So you're looking at it like, I'm getting a bag. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you out here booked and busy? That's how people look at it. But from their standpoint, the only reason we propped you up, we didn't give a fuck about your music.
Right.
Like, that's why you don't get paid from your music. You know what I'm saying? But all these other things, we're going to pay you to do these. That's where 360 deals came from.
Yeah.
Because if I have a partnership with Sprite, Nintendo, and fucking some Bass Pro Shop, right? If I have a network with these and I sign an artist and this artist has this amount of eyeballs, I can go to my partners and say, hey,
we need her.
Yeah, here
a commercial
we can do a deal.
Or something. Send her something.
Yeah.
And that's why she. But I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I ain't even gonna say. I ain't gonna say it.
No, you can say it. Go ahead.
I feel like a lot of times artists are pawns.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And it's almost like it's like they be putting two pawns next, like they be putting pawns just be fighting. Exactly. Like that's how it is in the industry. Pawns just fighting. Some of them they just get fucked up and die or whatever the case, sacrificed or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of pawns.
And that's why I try to get people to understand. A lot of people, I posted a TikTok about the Amaretta song, right? I feel like a lot of people took my words out of character. And maybe it's because I misspoke, right? I said you turned everybody against you. That's not what I meant. What I meant is you caused an unnecessary divide that didn't need to be there.
But if you look at it like in the music industry, that was a really good move.
It wasn't.
I say it was.
Why do you think so?
Because it brought her attention.
But see, 6ix9ine had attention. How's his career doing?
I forgot about it. I ain't gonna
exactly.
lie. I forgot about that.
When your attention is divisiveness, this is her biggest song she's ever had, and you have to be. That's why labels are very careful about the songs they let you put out first, because that song could become your career. It's just like actors. If you play a rapist in a movie,
they're gonna always
you're gonna get typecast right into that, right? So just because the song got you views, immediate success isn't always the best, right?
Or maybe it was a good move for Mulatto.
What happened with Mulatto with that?
Her remix. She just got on a remix.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
you know what I mean? Like maybe it was a good move for Mulatto, since Mulatto is known for more than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what their label situation is.
Exactly. Like it's hard nowadays. It's hard to really decide whether people are making good chess moves in the music or not, because it's like anything goes nowadays. Like I feel like people almost like the fact that she made a song like that because it's something to debate about now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's something to just bring up and argue about. Like, no, it's not Atlanta. Like you can't sit there and say, well, it is Atlanta because you know what I'm saying? People just want shit to argue and debate about.
Exactly. But see, that's where I thought it was for a career, for like to success. For right now, it was a great move because now you have more odds. You're probably getting more money than you ever have. But it's about longevity. That's what you come in to. You want to be able to do the thing you love forever. But when you blow up a certain way, now you have to do something you might not love anymore. Or you might fall out of love with doing this, but because we brought you in doing this, you got to continue. That's why I tell people, like girls especially, I tell them don't sell sex.
That's why I try
in
not
your
to do, in my videos at least. Like I know sometimes I might rap about it or my vagina or whatever, but I don't try to make that the focal point of everything of me. Like, you know what I mean? I try to make other stuff the focal point. Like,
why do people think Nicki outlasted everybody else? It's because when no matter who sings her song, everybody's gonna find something that's like, I felt that. But if your whole verse is fuck this nigga, my coochie this, my blah, that's why dudes had a problem with that 2000, 2001, 2019 era of women's music. It's because like, nigga, like I'm not sing, nigga. I'm gonna be the first one to tell y'all, nigga, when Bodak Yellow dropped, niggas was in the club going crazy.
Really?
But you know what I'm saying, on my free time, like I'm not gonna roll my window down, turn my thing up, rock, like playing
to Bodak Yellow, or Nicki Minaj, stupid hoe.
You know what I'm saying, shit like that. But Nicki Minaj fucking verse on Seeing Green, nigga, that shit is getting max volume.
No, I feel like Nicki is I feel like I might be wrong saying this, but I feel like Nicki is one of those rare, you know how you have like those rare people in the music industry who really make it because of their talent, and that's like what they born and bred. Like this is what they do. They wake up rap, they go to sleep rap, they wake up rap. Like this is what they do. And I feel like Nicki was one of those rare people. That's how she's so versatile. That's how she's able to make pop and real hip hop and stuff like that. Like she can make a whole hard ass song for a nigga and have a nigga really singing it. Like I really feel what she's saying. And she can make a girly ass song that we over here like that, which will drive a nigga crazy. Like, oh, I can't stand Nicki. Like, why would she even make a song like that? But she's so versatile and talented. Like, I don't know. She just is one of those. I feel like she just rare. She was rare. Yeah, because she actually has.
She sold her talent.
She definitely sold her talent. Because you remember how she. I wouldn't say Nicki is not sexual, because she's very sexual, but she came off more as like craziness with her outfits and stuff like that, all the bold colors, the wigs and stuff like that. She made a statement with that versus her coochie or her titties. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what, but yeah, Nicki is one of the rare ones in there. And like, even still, like, Nicki's a beautiful woman. Yeah, you can't take that away from her. Like, so no matter what she puts on, and like with her body being the way it is, no matter what she puts on, you're automatically gonna look and be like, damn, she look good as fuck. But when you hear her speak, you are gonna respect her, and that's what she really made her career out of. Respect. Like, nah, niggas is gonna respect me and women gonna respect me. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's what it is.
She said in one of her interviews, she was like, people want to hop on waves, but if you hop on a wave, then hop on a wave, then hop on a wave, nobody's going to know who you are. So when there's no wave to ride, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing for you. And I feel like the longest running wave of all time is sex. Like, it was the first job there was ever. So a lot of people, but that's a wave.
That wave is not going to die either.
Yeah, never. It's never going to die.
That's just always going to be there to make money off of, to capitalize, just all type of shit. Like,
so once people hop on there, because there was a girl, she was telling me like, oh, I'm going to do this for content. I was like, don't do that. She was like, yeah, because the audience you're going to garner aren't the type of audience that you can convert into sales or something for another company. These are people who are here to see your body.
Right. Some dirt balls too, some real sleaze balls. So they definitely not gonna.
What's the craziest DM you ever got? Most thirstiest DM. Sorry, let me rephrase the question that way.
I don't know. I get a lot of. I feel like with me, it's not really more so guys being thirsty, because I feel like I'm like, I don't know. It's different. Like when I feel like people almost like, no, I gotta say something intelligent. I can't just not say nothing. For real, I really think that people think that, because they'll come and a lot of the times they will end up saying stupid shit like, oh, so you do music? Like, no, I just have 5 music videos on my page of my twin sister. Like, I think that's the most ridiculous DM I get. So what you want? Music? You write music? You do music?
Some people just try to break the ice. You know what I'm saying?
That's not, because I'm going to say yeah. And then me, I'm the type of person, I'm sending you every link I got with any music on it. And that's the end of the conversation.
Fact.
You get my YouTube, you get my Spinrilla, and you get my Apple Music. You might even get my YouTube. I mean, you might even get like my Google artist thing.
Yeah.
Like,
you can get verified if you do music. Being an artist is the easiest way to get verified on Instagram, which would be the easiest way for people to see your DMs when you DM them.
oh really? They were like, who is this bitch? She verified.
Yeah.
That's why I never really want to get verified, because I'm like, what do I got to do? Just send in my ID.
Well, yeah, there's
I'm over here trying to get the information.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be verified tomorrow, y'all.
There's an application on Instagram that you can use, but it's the easiest way is if you're an artist. That's why all my YouTube homies about to become rappers. We're all becoming rappers in the next 2 months.
Listen, no, and I bet y'all would take off with that shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All you need is like a good catchy beat, a good catchy hook, maybe some fresh outfits, maybe a chain or two.
You don't even need that.
I'm about to say, you really don't even need that.
Like, the hardest part of being an artist is gaining an audience. And since I've been a YouTuber for so long, like, I say things, I think I've only dropped one. No, that's a lie. I've only dropped like 4 verses since I've started YouTube, and every time people are like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? Drop be a rapper, yeah." You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Holla about to hit 1 million views, y'all.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? But that's where we're going now. Like, my homie, he's never rapped. Snipe never rapped ever in his life. He'll play around freestyle, but his first song was good. His second song even better. Yeah. But he ain't dropped that one yet. But he
get
dropped
ready, Snipe on y'all ass too.
For sure. He went to the Super Bowl. Somebody ran down on him like,
damn.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? I listen to your music, right?
And he don't even have music out.
Yeah, one song.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's like the hardest part is getting an audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. But
and I feel like even with the audience that you do get, I'm sorry, I know you're trying to close it. We're gonna get out of here in a second. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. But sometimes your audience will get bored with you.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of keep them engaged too. Like,
yeah.
It's a lot. Like, it's so much to deal with and keep up with. It's like you gotta be willing to do it or don't do it.
Facts.
At this point, because if you're not gonna do it, it's other people who will gladly step right in your place and do it and take off.
Yeah, that's why music labels, they'll go get somebody like Bad Baby and offer show. I ain't even gonna say it. And turn her into a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Can't be name dropping artists nowadays.
So and that's what I try to explain to people. The music industry don't care how good your music is.
Exactly.
Because your music being good doesn't sell. Having eyeballs is where the real money is. Like, they can license your music to movies and shit, like, but what your music can generate based on what you being a influencer can generate, it's not even close.
Right.
So, nigga, we don't give a fuck about musicians.
Really, influencers make more money than artists.
It's not
especially
even close.
During like, I just now did my research on how to make money from social media, because you know I'll get fans and followers and stuff like that, but it's better if you getting paid from it, because like, if the fan and the follower can't put you on that next level like that. I mean, they probably could, but I'll be trying to get monetized for that. And I've been doing my research, so I'm about to be verified and monetized.
Yes, sir.
Watch out.
But tell everybody where they can find you, though, before we head out of here.
Okay, so you can find me on IG at Nyra Millie. That's NYRAMILLIE. On IG. On Twitter, you can find me at Camille Banks. I pop my shit on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Twitter is not a place that you want to come playing games with me. Because I will not. Okay, we're going to do it how we do it, and I'm going to say what I got to say. You're going to say what you got to say, and that's the end of it. But if you want to listen to my album, don't just Google Nyra. Google Nyra Rage of Forgiveness. You got to add that Rage of Forgiveness, because they'll bring you to a baseball website, and that's not me. So, Nyra Millie, IG, Camille Banks on Twitter, Camille Banks on Facebook, my YouTube, Nyra, NYRA. And yeah, just if you rock it with it, show love, comment, share, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Hey, I will link all of that down below, so make sure y'all go check that out. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. We will drop public interviews every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. I will be out in Atlanta asking people's questions. As y'all can see, my Gideon merch has finally come in, so it's time for us to ask the question to Atlanta about how often they wear condoms. All right. But until then, have you seen that clip from this channel?
I have.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy out here. But
In
look,
Atlanta.
until the next time we see y'all, we out of here.